You got to let it go. You got to walk away. Like if you can't mentally and emotionally walk away, physically walk away. Get up and get out of there. What's going on, everybody? This your man Lucky. In this video, I'm going to be talking to all of the guys that are struggling when it comes to walking away from that woman, walking away from that relationship that no longer serves you. Listen, I get it. You've been in a relationship for a long time. You've been with this woman for a long time. You got a lot invested in her, in the relationship, or whatever. You spend a lot of time, put a lot of energy, right? Blood, sweat, and tears to build this thing up. And now it's not working out, and you're supposed to just be able to get up, turn your back, and walk away like it never existed. Nah, that's crazy. You have an emotional tie to this woman. You have an emotional tie to this relationship. However long you've been in a relationship, that's how long this has been a part of your life. It is programmed within you. And now things are not working out. And you're at a point where you're trying to figure out, should you stay or should you leave? Let me ask you something. Should you stay or should you leave? Is the relationship or is the woman serving you in any type of way? When I say serving you, I don't mean is the woman coming to you, you know what I'm saying, while you laying in bed and bringing you breakfast and bringing you dinner and stuff like that. What I'm asking you is, are you getting anything out of the relationship? Are you getting, more importantly, are you getting more out of the relationship than you're putting in? Or is it at least equal? Are you at least getting out of it what you're putting into it? That has to be the bare minimum. Bare minimum. You should be getting more out of it than you're putting into it in one way, shape, or form. You could be investing one way and then, you know what I'm saying, getting a return somewhere else. But you should be getting something out of the relationship. But are you at least breaking even? And if you're not, why are you there? Listen, walking away from a relationship is more, in my opinion, based on my experience, is more about the actual physical walking away. See, because what happens is a lot of people try to mentally and emotionally detach. You know, we try to put ourselves in a situation where we're distancing ourselves from the person. We're pulling back from her. You understand what I'm saying? But we're still physically in the same confines. You know, we still live together. Now, look, if you don't live with a woman, man, you shouldn't have no problems just letting that go. That should not be a problem. But it's when you live together, all your money is commingled and intertwined, and you know you're basically a part of each other. It gets difficult. But if you're sitting down and you're asking yourself, should I stay or should I leave? You already know the answer. What you're really trying to do when you're asking yourself if you should stay or if you should leave is you're trying to convince yourself that what it is that you're supposed to do is not what you're supposed to do because it's not what you want to do. You're trying to find a reason to stay. If you're asking yourself, should I stay or should I leave? You already know you should leave. You know that you been should have left. When you get to the point where you asking yourself that, man, you been should have left because you've already tried and tried and tried. You've gave it your best. You did your all. You've done everything you can do and nothing is working. You're trying to convince yourself to do what it is that you know you're not supposed to do, but you want to do. It feels good being there, but then it doesn't feel good. Like the emotional attachment has you wanting to be there, but then the mental, whatever it is you're going through, she violating you, she disrespecting you. You understand what I'm saying? She's showing you that she's not loyal. She talk to you all kind of way. You ain't getting no action. It's like, why you there? You really trying to justify you being there when you start asking yourself, should I go or should I leave? Most, man, guys will tell you, guys that have walked away, including myself, will tell you, man, when you at the point when you're asking that question, you already behind the curve. When you're asking yourself that, you should have gone already. You shouldn't even be there. But let me tell you something. Stop trying to, you know, like emotionally just detach from her. You know, it's the physical. Get out of there. Just get away. Just get away. If you cannot find it within you to detach from her, if you cannot detach from her, you still every day you come home and you right back in love again. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all get into it in the morning. You go to work. You can't stand her. You ain't never going home. Then when you go home, you right back in love again. You know what I mean? Then here come the manipulation tactic. She go, oh, I'm gonna make it up to you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean what I said. And you falling for it. Then you turn around, right back in love again. You being manipulated. But man, you got to be stronger than yourself. And that's what it is, man. Your mind has got to be stronger than your heart. Facts over feelings. You got to let it go. You got to walk away. Like if you can't mentally and emotionally walk away, physically walk away. Get up and get out of there. Leave the premises. Trust me, a lot of the what you're feeling when it comes down to you having to walk away from a relationship that no longer works. It doesn't even have to be a toxic relationship. It's just a relationship that you're no longer getting anything out of. Y'all are just roommates or, you know, strangers passing through the night or whatever it is. A lot of the where a lot of the issue comes from, it's not necessarily the attachment. And it's not necessarily the fear. Well, it could be the fear of loss of the relationship because maybe that relationship validates you. Maybe that woman validates you. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, you're married and now everybody's going to be like, oh, what happened? Y'all, I thought y'all was so happy. And then, you know, you told the whole world, like, we're going to be together forever. And now you got to eat your words or whatever. But a lot of it, when it comes to walking away, a lot of the issue is with the fear of starting over. It's just kind of like, this has been my life for the past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I don't even know life without her or this relationship or my current lifestyle, whatever it is. And now in your mind, you're like, man, I got to start over from scratch. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. A lot of the fear when it comes to walking away is simply that. Just jump out there and do it. Just jump out there and do it. You're never going to be able to prepare yourself for it. You just have to jump out there. It's like, you know, when you're getting in the water, you go to the beach or you go to the pool or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You sit there, you on the edge, kind of put your toe in, and then you get your feet wet, you know what I'm saying? And then you splash a little bit on the water on you. Man, you just, when you walking, you just got to jump out there. I'm telling you, you just have to jump out there and do it. Trust me. Once you jump out there and do it, a load, you know what I'm saying? Like the pressure is going to come off your back because you did it. It's like, okay, I'm here now. Ain't got no choice but to make it happen. But as long as you have that fear of jumping out there into the unknown, you know, you scared of being uncomfortable, you're afraid of what tomorrow is going to bring. As long as you continue to have that fear, you're never going to be able to walk away. If you can't do it mentally, if you can't do it emotionally, do it physically. Physically get up and go. Man, let me tell you something, man. There's nothing more powerful that you can do for yourself. See, when you walk away from her, you're walking towards you. You don't realize it, but you have lost yourself over time. The violating, the disrespect, or whatever it is, you have slowly been emasculated without even realizing it. It's kind of like looking at somebody that you see on a daily basis. I don't know, your parents, your friends, or whatever, and you see that person over time, day in and day out, or whatever. You don't really see them aging. You know what I mean? Or you may look at yourself and you gain weight. You may have gained 15, 20, 30 pounds over the past, 5 years, 6 years, or whatever. But you know what it's like when you see somebody that you haven't seen in about 5 years, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? A cousin, a family member that you haven't seen in a long time. And then when you see them, they've gained 30, 40 pounds, and you're like, whoa. You understand what I'm saying? They looking at you like, whoa, if you've gained 30 or 40 pounds, because for you, it's been very incremental. So you haven't noticed it. But when you see them, you haven't seen them incrementally gain weight. You just see them like, boom, whoa. They just see you like, boom, whoa. Like, you understand what I'm saying? You seen a family member, it's been a long time, and now they're much older, and you're like, man, like you can see the age in their face. Whereas, someone else that you've seen in the same amount of time, incrementally, just over time get older, it doesn't hit as hard. That is what has happened. That's the best way that I can explain as to what has happened to your masculinity. Slowly over time, it has eroded, especially if you were living with a woman. So you're at the strongest you can possibly be, but you're not at your strongest. Incrementally, you have been broken down. You're at the strongest you can be at this broken point. So to you, you're like, yo, I don't have a problem walking away. I can do this, I'm that. But you really can't, because you're operating at 40%. You're operating at 40%. So whatever strength you have at 40%, to you, that's your strength, but you're only operating at 40%. There's a whole 60% of you that's gone. That energy is in her. That's why you're attached to her, because your energy is in her. A part of you is in her, and that's why you're so attached to her. You got to break away, walk away. Yeah, you're going to be walking away at a deficit. You're going to be at 40% or wherever you are. You're going to be at a deficit, but when you get away, you'll be able to begin to build yourself back up. And you have to understand this, guys. If you cannot mentally or emotionally detach from her, you have to physically walk away. I'm telling you guys, there's nothing more powerful, because when you leave her, you're coming back to you. And this is what you have to do to regain that masculine energy. Once you start regaining that masculine energy, trust me, whatever you run into out there while you're on your own, rebuilding, starting over from scratch like a newborn baby, your money going to be messed up, your mind going to be messed up. Don't worry about it, because as long as you do the things that you're supposed to do, you're going to build yourself back up. I promise you. But I'm telling you, most of the issue is about you just physically walking away. Don't try to stay there. Not now. If you're strong enough, you could probably do it, but I don't recommend it, because if you're at the point where you're asking yourself, should you stay or should you go? That just pretty much means that you don't really have the power right now to just get up and go. You're asking yourself, you're trying to convince yourself to stay. You're trying to find every reason that just listen, get up and walk away. I'm telling you, physically walk away. Everything else will take control, or everything else will take over. Everything else will happen. Everything else will fall into place. Just physically get away. Walk away. That's what it is. Walking. You know how to walk. Walk is a physical, one foot in front of the other. Walk away. Forget about the mental. The mental will that time will let that slide away. Forget about the emotional. Time will let that slide away. Physically get away. All you guys that are having problems, I'm telling you, the biggest issue that you're having is just you physically getting up and going, because you're afraid of what the future may hold. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. I've been there. Physically get up and go. The mental, that'll start to release itself. The emotional, that'll start to release itself. Look, it took you years to get to the point to, where how you feel about her. It took you years to get there. It's going to take you years to let that go. You understand? It's going to take you years to detach. Physically, you can walk away right away. I don't know what your situation is, man. You might want to just leave and live in your car. Been there, done that. Been there, and I've done that. But I'm telling you, physically, get yourself out of there. Stop being scared of the future. That's what's holding you back from walking away. Your fear of the future. It's not so much the attachment. It's not so much the attachment. I don't know. I take that back. I don't know. I don't know how you are. You might be just that emotional guy to where, I don't know. That just might be you, you know. But at some point in time, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being violated, disrespected, you understand what I'm saying? Something should click in your mind. Click to where it's like, yeah, you know what? Enough is enough. And I understand a lot of you guys got kids and you're like, yo, I don't want to leave my kids and all of this kind of stuff. Listen, you cannot stay in a situation to where your mental is going to be off and you're trying to raise kids. It is not a good environment, in my opinion, and I'm saying it's my opinion because I don't have kids, but I've seen it, where you got, you know what I'm saying, the parents are staying together, but they so toxic that now that, you know, the kids, they don't know right from wrong, up from down. All they know is a toxic environment. And usually what happens is that's who they become. That's what they think life is about. That's what they think a relationship is about. That's what they think marriage is about. And so they carry that with them along their path, their journey in life. And then that's all they know. Look, guys, if you can't mentally or emotionally do it, physically get up and walk out the door. Forget about your feelings. Forget about your heart, your mind. Forget about that. Walk out the door and stop being afraid of the future. For most of y'all that are really contemplating, should I leave or should I stay or whatever, it's more so about your fear of the future than it is about the emotional attachment. That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. If you have any ounce of masculine energy in you, it's probably more about just the fear of the future. Just let that fear go. Let it go. Let that fear go. Jump out there. Trust me, it's a whole lot easier than you think. Look, for you guys that are really trying to figure it out, I hope this was, you know what I'm saying, this was helped in some way, shape, or form. And I'll catch y'all on the next video. Y'all be good.